Hi guys, this is Naima. Welcome to Foxy. Today I'm going to do a very interesting topic which most of you can relate to, which is makeup for beginners. I have actually been asked to do this video and I'm very glad that I'm doing it. I am going to cover this look, which is basic, simple for people who have either never done makeup in their lives or have done it, or some of us are doing it for the first time. These are just basic, simple steps where I have used the most minimal products, most simple products, not too many tools, because I don't want to confuse you since it's makeup for beginners. So I've already applied a moisturizer on my face, so I'm going to start with the most important steps, which is prepping. That is part of anything, even if you're not a beginner. That is most essential to doing any makeup look. So I have a lip balm. I have this Smashbox primer, which is water based, that I'm just going to spray on my face because hydrating is very important. And I'm just going to let it dry on its own. I'm applying some lip balm. Because hydrating lips is also a very important step of makeup. Now, moving on to the look, I'm going to start with applying a little bit of foundation and concealer. Most important, and especially if you are a beginner, is selecting the right shade of foundation. Remember that if you are buying foundation for the first time, or if you've got the wrong foundation and you're going to buy a new foundation that matches your skin tone perfectly, you need to remember to try and swatch it on your face. Remember, you can try foundation on your hand, but there's always going to be a difference when you actually apply it on your face. I'm using this Body Glow foundation. It's a liquid foundation that I'm going to apply all over my face, and then the next step that I'm going to do is concealing. Remember that if you are a beginner, you always start with a little bit of product, no matter what it is, whether it's foundation, lipstick, eyeshadow. Because you are a beginner, less is more. You can always add more product at the end, but removing always becomes difficult. So you always start with a little and then you can keep building. I have literally applied a very flawless, minimal application of foundation all over my face. If you are a beginner, you need to know that there are no rules in makeup. Now I'm moving to the second step. So I'm using this Nykaa concealer palette, which can also be used as foundation. But remember, concealer always has a thicker consistency to foundation. So you usually just apply concealer in places that need coverage, and then you use foundation on the rest of the face to kind of even out. The first step about concealing is identifying the areas that you need to conceal. Remember, in Indian skin, it's mostly 99% of the time dark circles, pigmentation, acne. So once you've identified the areas that you need to conceal, you only apply concealer on those places and kind of spread it and merge it into the foundation so that you can even it out, and this way you avoid a very cakey face, a thicker layer. I'm going to start with my dark circles because that is the area on my face that needs most kind of concealing. Remember, when you're applying any product on your face, you're always using this pushing motion because that's how you deposit the product. A lot of mistakes people tend to make is you kind of use this spreading motion, which kind of takes the product off. Also, a lot of you may have heard about correction and corrective makeup, but I'm not using a corrector today, though a corrector is actually something that I do use before concealing my dark circles, but that is for another video since we're just looking at beginners and if you are someone who is doing makeup for the first time. So once I've used concealer under my dark circles, I'm going to identify the other places that I may need to conceal, which is probably just around like the lip area and little like 1-2 marks here. So now that I have concealed the areas that needed to be concealed and finished with foundation and concealer, which is your base and foundation, that's exactly why it's called foundation and base, which is your entire base to having a great makeup look. Because if you have the right shade of foundation, always remember that your look is always going to be better. If you are someone who's created a great eye and everything, but your foundation is the wrong shade, your makeup is never going to look as good as it should. The next step to this is powdering and kind of packing your makeup, because this has like a cream and liquid consistency. So it's very, very important to powder your face because that kind of holds the makeup. I'm using this powder from Nykaa. I always like to focus on my T-zone because that is the area that we tend to sweat the most. So like here and like forehead and here around the nose. Okay, so once your base is done, now again you decide the coverage, the kind of concealer, how heavy you want your makeup to be, how heavy you want your base to be. I usually like to keep it natural, and I advise you to do the same because that's when you're actually going to look like yourself. Moving on to the eyes, I'm doing something super basic and super simple. We all own a kajal pencil, right? So I'm just going to kind of line my lash line with a kajal pencil very, very close to the lash line. So when I open it, it doesn't really look like I've applied something, but it's like super basic, but it kind of outlines the eye so you believe that there has been something done. And mascara, of course. Mascara is the foundation of your eyes. It's very important to invest in a good mascara. I'm going to use this one from L'Oreal. It's the Volume Million Lashes. It's one of my favorites. It's great. It's affordable. It comes under the category of drugstore. It is something that you should definitely own. And I'm going to apply a little bit of eyeshadow just so that you get a feel. And I am going to apply a little bit of eyeshadow just so that you understand what needs to be done, because again, the most important step about doing eyes is identifying your eye shape and what looks good on you. I'm someone who personally doesn't prefer kajal, I prefer eyeliner. But if you are someone where kajal suits you, you may just stick to applying that. So I'm just taking a very light brown eyeshadow on my brush. I'm just going to pat it on my eyelids. Always remember the application motion is always patting, because that's how you're going to deposit the product. And the more you like kind of try and blend and stretch it out is when you're removing the product. The reason I'm using a brown is because I want to keep everything super natural, because I'm also going to use a very dark lip here so that you understand. Again, if you are someone who prefers using your fingers to apply foundation or eyeshadow, you can always stick to that. And I usually do my own base with either a beauty blender or using my fingers, because I have developed that comfort over the years. But if you are a beginner, I suggest that you invest in good brushes, because it'll be easier for you to understand and apply makeup. So I have this kajal pencil that I'm just going to very closely and tightly use on my lash line. is again something that I have done because this is something that we all own and we can relate to. You can always go crazy and do like a wing liner and apply kajal and probably blend it out with an eyeshadow. But then again, since we're focusing on what a beginner would do, this is what I was taught as a beginner. And I feel like it was one of the easiest, most comfortable ways to relate to something, that because I already owned a kajal pencil for sure. Now I'm going to move to mascara. Remember to just, kind of push it upward. You can do it at the below lash line also. Mascara really makes a difference. I never leave my house without mascara, and this is something each one of us should have. Now that I'm done with the most basic, simple eye that you need to know, we'll get into more details and steps, and I will keep doing more videos like this. I'm going to finish this look with the basic blush, and I'm going to use like a pink lipstick because I believe that I have kept my eyes very subtle and I just want to use a bold color so you can understand the relevance. I'm just going to use this pink blush, and I'm just going to take some of it on my finger and pat it on my face. The reason I'm not using a brush, because that is something that anybody would ideally teach you or do. I just feel like if you are a beginner, if you don't own a blush, or if you even own one, or if you may have something like a pink eyeshadow or a pink powder, this is definitely something that you just kind of dab onto your fingers and just apply it on your face. Just remember that you need to blend it well. That's the only tip here that I'm going to give you, because once you blend it, it won't matter whether you applied it with a brush or your fingers. And you'd always notice that once you've started with your base and by the time you're at the end of your look, sometimes the under eye tends to crease because of course the skin is much thinner there. You can always kind of dab that up, retouch it with your powder. I'm going to finish this look. I'm going to use like a pink lipstick that I have from Body Glow. I'm not getting into the details of a lip pencil right now. We'll get into those details later. These are just few basic things that you need to have and buy as a beginner. And I'm sure some of us already own this because everyone just has makeup, whether it's a few things. You can definitely leave your comments below and let me know how helpful this video was. And you can put down your questions in terms of if there are any product recommendations that you're looking for, or if there's something in particular that you want to buy or you're confused about, or I can recommend a bunch of products that you should buy if you're a beginner. I hope this video was as informative as I could make it, and I hope that I could help. I'm going to be shooting more series like this and getting into more advanced techniques of makeup. You can follow me on Instagram as Makeup and Hair by Maliha. Thank you for watching. Maliha love.